The Rape of Lucretia. Sextus Tarquinius was the son of Lucius Tarquinius Superbus, the last king of Rome, who was engaged in the siege of Ardea at the time. One day, Sextus invited his friends for a supper and drinks at his house. Among his guests was Tarquinius Collatinus, one of his distant kinsmen. The men started talking about their lives and wives, and, fueled by wine, each of them praised his own wife excessively. Collatinus finally declared that no one was more worthy than his wife, Lucretia. As his friends scoffed, Collatinus invited them to ride their horses to his house and see for themselves what his wife was doing at home. The men agreed, and they all went on horseback to the city. They visited each of their houses and found every single one of their wives getting ready for a night out. Finally, they arrived at the house of Collatinus and saw Lucretia with her servants working on her spinning in the middle of her house. It was then that Sextus was said to have been seduced both by Lucretia's beauty and virtue. A few days later, Sextus returned to the house of Collatinus. Collatinus was, at this time, away at Ardea. Lucretia received him graciously and granted him the hospitality according to his status as the son of the king. Sextus waited until everyone else was asleep before taking up his sword and went to Lucretia's bedroom. Placing his sword against her, Sextus woke Lucretia with a low voice and declared his love for her. After begging, threatening, and exhausting every method of seducing Lucretia, who would rather die than submit to him, Sextus finally said, "When I have killed you, I will put you next to the body of a nude slave. Everyone will say that you were killed during a dishonorable act of adultery." With this final threat, Sextus succeeded. After he raped Lucretia, he left. The distraught Lucretia sent messengers to her husband and her father, Spurius Lucretius, prefect of Rome, asking them each to come at once and with a good friend, because a terrible thing had happened in her husband's house. Spurius Lucretius came with Publius Valerius, and Collatinus came with Lucius Junius Brutus. When she saw them, Lucretia began to cry. She told them of what had happened to her, and charged them to avenge her honor. After promising her that they would pursue Sextus, they tried to appease Lucretia's sorrow by saying that what had happened was not her fault. Lucretia said, "Not in time to come shall ever unchaste woman live through the example of Lucretia." Then, as the men looked at each other with despair and confusion, Lucretia took up a dagger and plunged it into her heart. She died amid the cries of her husband and father.